see if I can bring this up. Any questions anybody has?
No one in the back there.
Yeah, the responsive design makes so much sense when you think of mobile devices that are pointed at a website. Like I've brought up a browser on my phone or my tablet and I've visited a website.
Yes.
Do you find that if customers are asking specifically for a mobile app, like one that they're going to get from the App Store or Google Play, that it's not as critical to focus on responsive design in that case because you've got an actual dimension that you want?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I would say that at that point, if you're going to be designing for a specific reason.
This size and no other.
Well, here's the thing. Jeremy Keith last night. This is, by the way, this is the very first website, Tim Berners-Lee, right? And it is totally responsive. I love that. And so Jeremy's thing, and I agree with this. If you build stuff so that it doesn't rely on, okay, the stack goes like this. So HTML is your foundation, okay? And then on that, we layer on CSS. Both of those are fault-tolerant systems. If you do something screwy with your HTML, if your browser doesn't understand what the tag is, you could put, dinosaur tag and throw it on the page. It'll just show it. It'll be like, okay, you got a dinosaur tag. What do you want to do with it? Here's the stuff in it. It doesn't know what to do with it, but it's not going to break. It's not going to just freeze the browser, right? And the same thing with CSS. If a browser's reading lines of CSS, it's going to go, I don't understand that line of CSS. I don't see it. Skip that and keep going. So those things allow you to, it's fault tolerant. And so if you can do it further down the stack, you should. In fact, if you start from there and build that way, then your structure then will support itself even if it goes back and doesn't work at some older browser level or whatever. I mean, you're basically, it's not to say to gracefully grade. Should websites look the same in every browser? Have you guys ever seen this? The website? I love this because I thought, and this was at, let me just bring this up here. I lost my website or my network connection. Darn it. Oh, anyways, the short answer is no. It doesn't. They shouldn't look the same on every website. You shouldn't be trying to make stuff look the same in IE6 that it does in Chrome version 1 billion or whatever they're at now. What you should really be doing is focusing on making sure that the experience can still be achieved, that they're not being stopped from what they're doing. So if you're designing for a specific footprint or device, that's great. If you think that it's never going to have to go beyond that, I would worry about that a little bit, at least to say, well, you never know. And so as long as you just behave yourself and don't go, well, I'm going to do something that's going to lock me in, and if I want to do something different, I'm going to have to rip it out. But at the end of the day, you don't want to design for every possibility. Right. If you're starting from that, but it's probably a good place to start if you're starting at the mobile level always, because you're designing with constraints. You should always design with constraints.
So most everything is common, and only the little pieces are native, the pieces that are specific to a particular device. So what you're saying is, you'll save your sanity if most of everything is common across all devices. Right. I mean, you could do, people will say we want something that's beautiful, robust, and fast. And then you get something that's beautiful, and it's done on time. And then it skips the other parts, the robust and fast, all by the wayside. I borrowed that one from yesterday too. But I love that because what it said is that, okay, at a certain point, we're going to kind of just go, well, we just got to get this out the door, and so we're just going to cut all these corners, and it's death by 1,000 cuts. You get to the point where you're just, kind of painting yourself into a corner. I like what Jeremy said because he's like, if you can do it further down the stack, if you can do transitions and things in CSS, do it there. Because if it doesn't work, it's not going to break the browser. If you do your transitions in your JavaScript and it doesn't work, JavaScript stops parsing. It's a programming language. It just goes, I'm done. So again, you're saving yourself a little bit there if you do that. Anybody else?
Do you need automated strategies for testing those samples?
Automated strategies?
Yeah, you do integration testing with Protractor. Do you have anything that would work with
I would really like to do more of that. I think, you know, like if you run like, if you want to see how stuff like renders, like Litmus, you can run and it'll render out all the different pages. But in terms of like, you know, user acceptance stuff, like if you've got like a form, you want to fill it out and then keep it sending and doing all that, you can use like Selenium. It's been pretty good. We worked with that a little bit. It can be a little challenging because QA people tend to sort of kind of have a bit of a learning curve with it, seeing that involve a developer. But there's a new one. In fact, there was a talk today that somebody was given on automated testing for some stuff. I haven't looked at that. But it's a good idea. Anything needed to automate tests, for sure. Anything else? Everybody wants the book, don't they? They don't want to hold anybody up here. All right, let's see. Oh, wait, here we go. Here it is. Oops. There it is. If anybody ever asks you this, you just be like, send them this link. You know what's really great about this? See how that's got that nice like drop, you know, background. It's gradiated. It's got a drop shadow and everything. If you look at this in like IE 5.5, it doesn't do that. So even this site like does what it says it's gonna do. It doesn't look the same in every browser. I'm sorry. And is Jackie Vesci here?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Do I win?
Sure. Thanks for coming, everybody.